We're now ready to resume our programming. Our next session, Scaling Beauty's Climate Impact, L'Oreal's Call for Game-Changing Innovation. Please welcome to the stage, Ezgi Barcenas, Chief Corporate Responsibility Officer of L'Oreal Group, and Sophia Lee, award-winning journalist, founder of Steward Media.
Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? Come on, it's the first day of Nest Climate Campus. How are we doing today? There we go. Amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here this morning. And today we're going to talk about scaling beauty, the climate impact, L'Oreal's call for game-changing innovation. The future of beauty is inseparable from the future of our planet. And few leaders embody this more than Ezgi Barcenas. She is the Chief Corporate Responsibility Officer at L'Oreal Group and the CEO of Foundation L'Oreal. She leads L'Oreal for the Future, the company's global sustainability strategy, and oversees major initiatives like Funds for Nature, Women, and Climate Emergency. Most recently, they launched a $100 million Sustainable Innovation Accelerator to scale breakthrough technologies for climate, circularity, and nature. Welcome, Ezgi.
Thank you for having me. Hi, Sophia. Good morning.
Okay, so I feel like everyone in this room has heard of L'Oreal, which is incredible. L'Oreal has been a leader in the beauty industry for 116 years. So what is this delicate dance of balancing the rich legacy that L'Oreal has while also scaling innovation?
So at L'Oreal, we have this very strong conviction in our belief for what we call dual excellence. Combining economic performance, financial performance, with that of positive social and environmental impact. And this commitment to dual excellence, this unwavering commitment to dual excellence, dual performance, is one of our cornerstone values, and it really drives all we do, every decision we make across the business, in different functions, business units, and zones around the world. And everything really truly stems from that. I think the second piece that you should know is, yes, we were founded 116 years ago, and we're a company born from science, born out of science. So it is deeply ingrained in our DNA to pursue science, to always pursue innovation, to really be at the forefront of culture, at the forefront of innovation. So then when you look at our legacy, our commitment to the dual performance is really what's carried us to today, but we also have this firm belief that it's also what's going to unlock innovation and shared value into the future as well. And we're really proud this year to be the science partner at Nest Climate Campus. So thank you all for joining us today. Yeah.
Thank you, Ezgi. So as I mentioned, L'Oreal launched the Sustainable Accelerator Program. L'Oreal is investing $100 million to accelerate climate solutions at scale. What are the biggest opportunities and challenges here?
Yeah, that's right. So earlier this year, we made an announcement to launch a sustainable innovation accelerator called the L'Accelerator to pursue new sustainable innovation and breakthrough solutions that are out there. The program is endowed with 100 million euros over the next 5 years. And we're really excited. We're really excited about the possibilities and how this will help us uncover and identify new partnerships out there. But maybe I can take a step back. What led us to that decision, to the announcement of this program and to the launch of this flagship effort? L'Oreal has been on a sustainability journey for decades now. We've been investing in sustainability in communities around the world, and we work across 4 pillars in stewarding the climate transition, safeguarding nature, championing circularity, and of course, empowering communities. And we do that everywhere we operate, in every meeting room, every decision we make, and we really approach it across the whole value chain, from sourcing to product design to operational excellence to how products show up on shelf, how we engage with our consumers. So as we were working towards our 2030 ambitions across climate, nature, circularity, and empowering communities, we really felt that A, you have to be very transparent about the progress you made and your ambitions, but B, you also have to be very candid about the gaps that are out there so that we can continue to solve for those critical solution gaps. And we can be very transparent, firstly internally about the challenges ahead, but secondly externally as well, so that we can identify those partners. And of course, the partnerships, the solutions may exist in our existing supply chain with our incredible supply chain partners, and we work with them very closely on a lot of efforts and initiatives in co-designing solutions, co-innovating into the future, really building that shared vision of how the future of beauty could look like. But at the same time, we felt that innovation is everywhere around the world, and there is so much that we can really still tap into, so much innovative spirit, pioneering spirit, so much resourcefulness that exists in many countries around the world. So the idea behind the Sustainable Innovation Accelerator Program was really, how can we be more intentional about tapping into those innovation ecosystems, not only being very transparent about the challenges. So today, you can actually check it out at the L'Oreal booth. You can get more information on the applications. The applications for the first cohort is open through the end of the month, so 30th of September. But the idea was for us to list all our challenges across different pillars on a website, to be very transparent about the very specific solutions we're looking for that will help us close that gap towards our ambitions. And then send those demand signals to the market to say, companies like L'Oreal are looking for these circular solutions, are looking for these low carbon solutions, low impact products and processes that are out there. So it was a way for us to really, again, be very intentional and send demand signals, but also if we do this consistently year over year, it can be a way for us to really inform innovation pipelines. Because we know that today there are so many entrepreneurs and founders that are working on similar challenges, but maybe their product, their solution is applicable for a different use case. And now that they know that a beauty company or a consumer goods company is looking for these types of solutions, they can design over the next few years and come up with new prototypes, new solutions. They can customize their applications to be used in companies like L'Oreal or in our value chain. So for us, this was really a very intentional effort to not only identify the solutions, but also help seed those innovation ecosystems into the future so that we can, again, accelerate the transformation of our efforts, but also our entire ecosystem. And coming back to the 100 million euros, I think it's also important to highlight that the program is not just your typical accelerator program that you would find in many businesses out there. Yes, it does offer the mentorship, the piloting, the personalized design of a pilot with the right project sponsors in the company so that we can hold the hands of the startups and the founders as they're bringing in their new solutions into such a big business, right? Ensuring that there's procurement systems in place that are welcoming, that are enabling those partners that may be small, medium-sized enterprises right now, but also helping them come to scale. So there will be an investment vehicle that will sit within that 100 million euro envelope, as well as we're looking for ways, and I'm really excited about our partnership with our finance team, and a big shout out to my CFO as well here, Christophe Abul. We're also looking for ways to see how can we nurture the first few years of that product for it to be cost competitive versus the alternatives that may exist already in the business. So how can we help them, nurture them in the first few years of their scaling up as they're reaching economies of scale? So again, really thinking through how do we operationalize, how do we identify the solutions, but then how do we nurture them and really enable their growth in such a big system out there. And we're really excited about it, and we'll be announcing the first cohort and the selection of the startups that will join the program in the next few months.
Amazing. So L'Oreal is acting as a Trojan horse for systemic and transformational change. That's really incredible. So you mentioned that applications are open until September 30th. Who can apply? Because I think there could be a lot of, great applicants directly in this room. Who can apply?
The applications are open to anyone. I mean, the idea here is to be really inclusive and intentional about the solutions that are out there, and we firmly believe that there's something we can learn from anyone. So we're excited to welcome startups, small, medium-sized organizations, but at the same time, we're being very transparent about these challenges and the solutions we're looking for from our large-scale suppliers as well. So again, if they are working on a breakthrough solution or innovation, we highly encourage them to also apply through the program for us to help co-design and pilot to get together with them. Yeah.
Okay, so anyone working on a breakthrough solution, you have until September 30th to apply. So, Ezgi, climate challenges are too vast for just one company to solve, of course. Can you give us an example of cross-sectoral collaboration that has really shifted how L'Oreal approaches transformation and change?
I think maybe before I talk about the cross-sectoral collaboration, I do want to emphasize how cross-functional collaboration inside a company is really where you start. For us to really set these efforts and initiatives for success, it's important that we engage across the business and that sustainability is not the responsibility of any one team or any one division in the company, but really truly embedded and integrated into the whole operation. So what does that mean? How we work with the sourcing team, how we work with our research and R&I, the research and innovation team, how we work with our operations team, how we, again, think through the manufacturing and excellence, how we work within our business units. So really cross-functional efforts inside the company and what I would call our team of teams coming together to work. But then, of course, being very transparent with our ecosystem to say, here are the types of solutions that we want to bring to market. How can you help us bring that to life? Maybe one example I can give is, again, you can check it out at the L'Oreal booth, is how over the last few years we've been working in introducing more circular packaging solutions. A new, I would say, the latest, I would call it, beauty routine that we're trying to establish with the consumer behavior in when you're purchasing a product, for you to not throw away the packaging, the beautiful packaging with the incredible design codes that we put into it and we nurture behind each brand that we put out there, some of our most admired and iconic brands. For your follow-on purchase, your repeat purchase, you could buy a refillable, what I would call cartridge, where the packaging is a lot simpler, the environmental impact is a lot lower. There's a deep life cycle analysis that goes into it. And then you can refill your original packaging at home with the beautiful design code that you can nurture and really, again, merging desirability and sustainability. This is not a typical consumer habit. Today, we sell products and they may be for one-time use only. So how you really enable the creation of such a system for you to refill at home your perfume or your skincare or your face care. These are the types of things that we're working on. And we have over 4,000 R&I researchers in the company, thousands of engineers, designers that are really working to bring to life what I would call a more standardized refill cartridge twist up, twist to lock. It's something that may sound very simple, may very intuitive, but it takes a lot of effort and work into standardizing that twist up to make sure that it works with the packaging that is out there across different brands, multiple divisions getting involved, and putting it out to the market to then educate the consumer on this new norm and beauty routine and beauty habit of how we can continue to lower our environmental impact while meeting our diverse beauty needs. So this is one aspect, but the second piece is, again, not only collaborating, let's say, with our glass suppliers, our packaging suppliers, but also working downstream with our retailer partners as well. And today you can see the refill fountain with multiple brands and how you can also bring your empty package or empty bottle and refill in store as well. A new solution that we've rolled out to over a dozen stores right now in Europe and in the US, with plans to roll out even in more. But again, it takes a level of commitment, dedicated discussions, and really a shared vision with your retailer partners as well for you to create shelf or to create space for such a solution in the market, in store, for the consumers to really tap into. So again, all these things and the behavior change, it really takes a long time, and we have to think through the entire consumer journey of what we're solving for to make it convenient, to make it easy for them to understand, to continue to inform them of the environmental impact that they would be also supporting as well.
Thank you, Ezgi. L'Oreal's Chief Sustainability Officer, Marissa McGowan, told me that if you've ever drank from a keg, then you know what a refillable package is. And you can, if you've drank from a keg, then you can refill your beauty products as well. Because a keg is like the most cyclical part. So anyways, I just thought that was a great analogy.
Yeah, that's the refill fountain you'll see there, yes?
Yes, the refill fountain. So there can be this notion that integrating sustainability into a core business strategy is costly and time-consuming and something that many companies say they don't have the resources for. So how is the opposite true for L'Oreal, where sustainability and innovation fuels the growth and transformation of L'Oreal?
I think often when we talk about sustainability, it comes off as a very complex subject or a subject where trade-offs have to be made, and that it could be costly and it could be time-consuming. And it's actually quite the opposite, because if your entry point is trying to solve for real world challenges, then ultimately the product that you put out there will help enable and improve the quality and dignity of life and in the way that we offer those products. So, for example, take climate change. We are present in 150 plus countries around the world. We see the wide-reaching impacts of climate change across the world, in our sourcing regions, in our operations, in the communities where we live and work, and the consumers that we serve. So as we're seeing the impact of climate change, we are also very acutely aware of the growing water stress around the world. So how can we help build resilience for our business, but also for our consumers into the future, for them to be more water resilient in that water stress environment? What does that look like? How can we make sure that the consumers are meeting their everyday hygiene and beauty needs in that water stress world, in that future? So once you start asking yourself these questions, then it can really inform, again, your innovation pipelines, your product design, and you can start thinking through, okay, what does the future of shampoo look like? Can it be no rinse? Can it be fast rinse? What does the future of face care look like? How do I ensure that I still offer the high quality, the safety, the efficacy that I've always offered in that new world when the consumer may not have access to as much water? So these are the types of questions we ask for ourselves. And then once that's your entry point and you're looking to solve for real world challenges, then it's really no longer a trade-off or the time consuming that you're worried about, or how it may be an intense work. It's actually part of your product design and innovation, and you're asking yourself, how does my company show up into the future so that I can continue to serve my consumers? So again, integrating sustainability into everything we do and solving for that future is the first lens that we apply.
Yeah, and you're showing that having innovation and sustainability in the core business of L'Oreal contributes to the growth and success.
Absolutely.
There's no trade-off.
Yes. Over the last few months, I've visited several of our markets. I was in Mexico, I was in India, and it's incredible to see, again, to talk to the consumer, to go out to market, to see on shelf how our products are showing up. How are they comparing to the peer group? Are they meeting the needs of a changing climate in a more water-stressed world? So these are the types of questions we're asking ourselves, from Mexico to South Africa to India to Europe to US, to continue to find ways, the products that we can bring to market to, again, continue to serve our consumers.
Thank you, Ezgi. And my last question is that there seems to be a growing disconnect between large companies and consumers. L'Oreal, leads the charge in being both responsible. And what is the role that the private sector at large plays in addressing these multi-crises that consumers are facing?
Look, I think for us, ultimately, this comes down to the future of beauty that we envision. What does the future of beauty look like? The future of beauty is more sustainable, more inclusive, and more personalized. So if we're solving for that future, if we're looking to create a more sustainable, more inclusive future, offer more personalized products, then by the nature of our efforts, we're really serving those communities and consumers around the world. And it allows us to what I would call shoulder a greater sense of leadership. So as the leader in the beauty industry, we feel that we not only have a responsibility, but an opportunity to help shape that future and really craft the future of beauty for it to be more sustainable, inclusive, and personalized.
I wanted to ask the audience, so raise your hand if you're representing a company or brand here today. Oh yeah, come on, don't be shy, yes. And what is something, so it's the majority of the audience. So Ezgi, what is something that everyone here in the audience, they could take back as soon as Climate Week is over to their colleagues, to their stakeholders, in starting this more responsible journey?
I would say I'm an engineer by training, and I'm an incredibly curious person as well. And I think that served me well. And I always encourage our teams to be very, very curious about what they're solving for. So I think if you take a problem-first approach and say, this is what I'm tackling, this is what I'm solving for, and your starting point is not a metric you set into the future or a percentage or a number that you're chasing, but an actual real-world problem, that would be my advice. Be curious about the problem. Define the problem with your teams and take that problem-first approach.
Define the problem and solve for the first approach.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ezgi. A huge round of applause. Thank you so much. This was Scaling Impact. Thank you so much.
Thank you.